Hey guys, Marshall here with Marshall's Guitar Lessons, and today we're going to conclude our 6-part video series on the pentatonic scales. We're going to discuss how you can combine the 5 different pentatonic scales across the neck to create musical phrases, and we'll end the video with a really cool lick which you guys can use to help you move around on the pentatonic scales and combine all of them. So let's grab a guitar and get to it. Alright, so this diagram is one which I just made that shows how all 5 of the pentatonic scales can be used together and coordinate with one another on the guitar neck. So let's start on the very far left and describe what this diagram shows. So you'll see the letters E, A, D, G, B, E read from the bottom to the top. Those are representing the guitar strings on the guitar neck. The horizontal lines which are running across that grid would be the actual strings, and the vertical lines represent the frets. You can see at the bottom it shows the fret number. We're starting with fret 0 on the far left. For this diagram, fret 0 is replicating the guitar nut, which is a piece of bone or plastic. It's typically white that's at the top of the headstock. And as you go right, you're effectively moving up the guitar towards the pickups or towards the sound hole if you're playing an acoustic guitar. And we go all the way up to the 17th fret. And I went to the 17th just for the purpose of this diagram. Most guitars have more than 17. A lot have 22 or 24. So that describes what the actual chart is. If you look about 3/4 of the way up, you'll see it says position 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and there's various different colored dots above those. Those associate with the colored dots that are in the actual grid down below. And the colored dots show where you put your fingers for each particular position. So let's just look at position 1 really quick. I'll post a link down below that shows a video talking about position 1 for the A minor pentatonic scale. I actually have videos on all 5 positions. You can watch them all. I recommend it if you're watching this video. So for instance, on position 1, you would fret the 3rd fret and the 5th fret on the E string, and then move up to the A string and fret the 3rd and 5th again. Move up to the D string, 3rd and 5th, or excuse me, 2nd and 5th, and so on and so forth as you go across the strings. But you'll notice something very interesting that's reoccurring with this particular diagram. If you look at the part that's about 3/4 of the way up that has the different positions and the colored dots, you'll notice that position 1 has blue and gold, and position 2 has gold and green. So gold is reoccurring in both of these positions. So that means that the same notes are played in both positions, literally the exact same notes. So what this means is you can start integrating up the fretboard and transition between the different positions. And this is a reoccurring theme. Same with position 2 and position 3. Position 2 are the gold and green dots. Position 3 are the green and red dots. Again, the green notes that you're playing fall into both position 2 and position 3. So hopefully you're starting to see now that you shouldn't be viewing the pentatonic scales as a linear form which goes from one string to the next. It can move in 2 different dimensions. You can both move across the strings and up the strings and move into the next position. And when you do that, when you create what I like to call different roads, different avenues to move up the neck, you can create really, really cool licks, and you can make very dynamic solos. But first you have to learn all 5 positions and then understand how they interact. The only other thing really to note here is at the very bottom, you'll notice that the letter A's show up on the gold bars, and I'll post another video pretty soon about the musical alphabet. It goes into a little bit of music theory, and that will help explain why those are there. But for now, let's move on to a really cool lick which can be used to integrate this concept we're talking about of moving between the different positions. Alright, so this is a diagram of a super cool lick. which a guitar instructor showed me probably 9 or 10 years ago, which he called the Superhighway. And it's super useful because it allows you to play a bunch of different notes in all 5 of the positions, and it allows you to move up the neck really efficiently and really quickly, and allow you to move yourself into different positions, which you can then play around in. So I'm going to cut to a video of me playing this. I'm going to also post all of these diagrams in the description. You're more than welcome to download them, print them off, and follow along. Alrighty, so the Superhighway on the actual guitar is pretty simple, and it's going to go through all 5 different positions. So we're going to start out on the lowest string, the E string, and we're going to play the 3rd fret with our index finger, and then we're going to play the 5th fret with our ring finger. So it'll sound like this. We're going to then go over to the A string and play the same frets, the 3rd and the 5th. Now we're going to slide up into position 2 onto the 7th fret of the A string, and then we're going to walk across the D string and play the 5th and 7th frets. And I'm doing that with my pointer finger and my ring finger. We're then going to go over to the G string and play again the 5th and 7th frets. And now we're going to slide up into position 3. We're going to slide 2 frets up into the 9th fret. And then with our middle finger and pinky on the B string, we're going to play the 8th and 10th frets. And then going over to the highest string, the E string, we're going to play again the 8th and 10th frets. So now we're all the way up into position 4. Now we're going to slide up into position 5. And to do that, we're going to take our pinky and slide up to the 12th fret. Now we're in position 4, right between position 4 and position 5. And then we're going to slide up to the 15th fret. And then all the way up to the 17th fret. And that puts us back into position 1 again. So as you guys can see, we've spanned from here to here on the fretboard. And that's a pretty incredible thing when you can move up the fretboard and you can get off the Superhighway at any time. That's one of the best parts. So you can stop anywhere up this and just play around in a particular position. So let's just say I want to take the Superhighway but get off at position 3. What I can do is something like this. It's kind of a cool little run, and you can do many different options with the Superhighway. I'll post some more videos discussing a few different licks you can make with it. That was just a short example. I recommend though that you play around with the Superhighway and practice getting off at different spots, and you'll quickly find that when you use a method like this of looking at a diagram and seeing what notes you can play, then all the notes will sound right. And you can just kind of play around with the different notes, and you'll quickly find that you're creating really cool solos. So with that being said, I'm going to go on to one last little diagram with some closing notes and thoughts. So in conclusion, I think it's important to keep in mind that the separate positions which you learn for the pentatonic scales shouldn't be viewed as just separate thoughts, but they should be viewed as integrated phrases. And you should really free your mind into not just sticking within one position or one box, but moving up and down the neck in 2 dimensions, both across the strings and up the neck, and move freely within the different positions. And you'll find very quickly that if you do that, really, really cool licks will be created by just moving between the positions. So go out and find your own roads, your own ways around the pentatonics, moving between the different positions and up and down. And if you guys like these videos, please subscribe, like, and comment, and there'll be more on the way. Thanks.